And thank you, Father, because by the time we are done in your presence today, it will be testimony galore to the praise of your glory. Thank you, mighty Father. To you be all the glory, all the honor, and all the majesty. In Christ's mighty name we worship. Let all of God's people, wherever you are, declare aloud, amen. You're almost welcome in the mighty name of Jesus. And I believe every one of us, we already have our updates with us, please.
Yes.
You're welcome. Of course, as usual, before we proceed, let's start with our foundational scriptures. Which is 2 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 8. Second Corinthians chapter 13, verse 8. So please, if we see what I'm sharing, please let me know, please. Second Corinthians chapter 13, verse 8, please. It says, for we can do nothing against the truth, but for the truth. I repeat again. For we can do nothing against the truth, but for the truth. And I've told us on the authority of God's word that what this scripture means is that it's truth that actually matters. How come the truth is so important? How come it's truth that matters? It's the truth that matters because of all of God's attributes. Truth is the highest. Can we see that chart I'm putting on our screen, please?
Yes, sir.
It's actually truth that matters. God has 6 basic attributes. The first, which is like wineskin, is actually faith. What do I say faith is to God?
Wineskin.
Faith is actually like wineskin, like this glass I'm holding. Now, faith is like the container. Because I believe that these 6 attributes makes God. And because we are in God's image, the scripture told us that 6 is the number of adult humans. But the first basic nature of God is faith. But now, if you drink this drink, is it the glass I'm sipping or the content?
Content.
That's exactly how faith is. Faith is a means to an end. And that is why nothing works in your life as an adult human being without your faith. Am I getting through to us, please?
Yes.
That's why the scripture says the just shall live by his own faith. In fact, if we check 2 Corinthians chapter 4 verse 13, we understand Matthew 19:26 and Mark 9:23 better. Let's start with 2 Corinthians chapter 4 verse 13, please. 2 Corinthians chapter 4 verse 13. I will sit together, people of God, please.
Yes.
Now, in 2 Corinthians chapter 4 verse 13, it says, we having the same spirit of what?
Spirit of faith.
Same spirit of what?
Faith.
One more time. Same spirit of what? Faith. Same spirit of faith like God. According as it is written, I, God, believe, therefore have I spoken. Apostle Paul is saying, we too will also do what?
Believe.
We believe and therefore speak. I'm not sure you are getting it now.
Yes, sir.
Even though it's not this container that I'm drinking, I hope you follow it.
Yes, sir.
Even though it's not this container I'm drinking, I cannot drink what I want to drink without the container. That is why the first attribute of God, like you are seeing with this hand on your screen, is faith. God is primarily a faith God. And guess what? All of us adult human beings, whether you are religious or not, please listen to this. This is going to help you. Whether you are atheist or not, whether you are going to heaven once you check out here or not, whether you are going to hell once you check out here or not, as long as you are an adult human being, people, you got faith. You now see the reason why I say in your life, contrary to what we believe, will I tell you something?
Yes,
This will shock you, people of God. Are you ready to hear this, please?
yes, sir.
God is not the one in control of any of our lives. Once you are an adult, it's not God. Even before you become an adult self, it's not even God, it's your parents. That shocks you. You see another reason why religious people don't succeed in life. Because religion tells you that God is in control of your life. That's a lie. But the atheist, the secularist, because they don't believe in that, they start walking by faith. None of us can do without walking by faith. That is who we are. Listen, people of God, we are all governed by our belief system.
Yeah.
What you are enjoying in your life today is not what somebody did for you. It's not what somebody did to you. It's not what Satan did to you. It's not what God did for you. It is what you believe. Because faith is God's primary attribute. How we're getting that place.
Yes, sir.
That's why faith is like this hand. Even though when you are talking about faith, you at every point in time, you have faith in someone or faith in something. Yes or no?
Yes.
But it's still faith. That is why faith is not the finger. Faith is not the 5 core attributes from God that you need in your life. All people of God, you are getting this. Please be checking them, but let them be on this. But without faith, you cannot access these attributes you need. Just like without this container, I cannot access the drink. Am I making sense, people of God?
Yes, sir.
So faith is God's primary attribute. That's God's primary attribute, faith. But you see, aside faith are now 5 experimental, functional, beneficial attributes, of which the truth is now the, which is the reason why none of us can do anything. Even God himself cannot do anything against the truth. Let me show you some scriptures. Let's start with Matthew chapter 19, verse 26. Matthew 19, verse 26. Matthew chapter 19, verse 26. There's something I want to show us about faith here. Can we read this statement together that God said concerning what Christ said concerning God? Yeah. Can we all read it together?
Yes, sir.
What did Christ say? He said
With
men, that is with human beings. This case is impossible.
But with God,
what happens?
all things are possible.
Who can tell me why all things are possible with God? Because of his faith. Beautiful. Because God is a faith God. See, there's nothing about God that we cannot understand. It's religion that gives us the impression we cannot understand God. Am I making some sense, please?
Yes, sir.
Let me find a way of so that you'll be able to see my face. Because when you make visual contact with people, they understand what you're saying better. Just a lot about communication. Are you still with me, people of God, please? Yes. Yes, sir. So that's why all things are possible, because God is primarily a faith God. His primary attribute is faith. That's why faith is the hand. Are we seeing that, people of God, better now?
Yes, sir.
It's faith that holds all that thing. All the other attributes of God. Without faith, God will not be a God of truth. Without faith, God will not be a God of love. Without faith, God will not be a God of wisdom. Without faith, God will not be a God of grace or righteousness. And without faith, God will not be a God of power, results, prosperity. Am I getting across to us?
Yes, sir.
Will I show you something that will now shock you too?
Yes.
Many of us have not linked this together, but you will link it now. I'm taking us to Mark chapter 9, verse 23. Mark chapter 9, verse 23. But don't forget, asking your question is part and parcel of the service.
Yes.
And questions being answered either by me or any of us is also part and parcel of the service. That's why I ask you questions too, so that you can answer. I hope you are following, people of God, please.
Yes, sir.
Now look at Mark chapter 9, verse 23. Mark chapter 9, verse 23. This is Christ talking again. And what did Christ say here? In Mark chapter 9, verse 23. Even though people tend to mix religion with faith, I want to tell you that the number one enemy of faith is religion. What did I say? Number one enemy of faith is
Religion.
Religion.
And do you know why? Once you are religious, you will never walk by faith. See, contrary to what religion teaches us, do you know what produces the airplane? Do you know what produces computer? It's faith. If those engineers, if those scientists didn't believe in themselves, we will not have the technology we have today. Every development of mankind is by faith. But religion doesn't, it destroys the definition of faith. The best part of faith, which is just works of faith, and interesting, that's the lowest work of faith that religion gives us, is prayer. That's why when you are religious, the only time to you are walking by faith is when you are praying. But let me tell you, if you understand faith, when you are thinking, it's an aspect of faith. When you are hardworking, when you are going to your office, when you fall, they are all attributes of faith. That is why you that you are hardworking in your office, you that you are a thinker, you are more of a faith person than the person that is praying. That is why the developed countries, they work by faith more than African countries. In the African country, we are only praying. And that's the lowest work of faith we are using. Pastor James says it. Pastor James says, the way this body is dead without the spirit, he said that's how faith is what? Dead. Without these works. So if you have a higher work, which is labor, and somebody else has prayer, who will prosper more? The person that is hardworking, the person that is laborious will prosper more. That is why this gospel of prosperity is from Satan. Because it's Satan that will reward you for what is not your due. That's why grace, which is supposed to be part of the righteousness of God, grace has been defined as unmerited favor. That's why somebody who is lazy in the office wants to get promoted. Am I with you?
Yes, sir.
Somebody who is not a king wants to marry a queen. Somebody who is not a queen expects a king to marry her. What is producing that is religion? It's from Satan. That's why you see students are being brought up to pray to pass exam instead of reading to pass exam. Let me tell you, God cannot make you to pass exam without reading. If it is possible, look at David. He said, I have more understanding than my teachers. That means they are teachers. And he said he had it because he meditated on the truth. Am I making some sense, please?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now, let's now see what Christ said in Mark chapter 9, verse 23. Don't forget where we're coming from. Matthew chapter 19, verse 20, which says that with God all things are possible. And all things are possible. Why? Because God is a faith God. Is that not what we discovered?
Yes, sir.
Do you now see the reason why this next scripture is also true? Let's read it. They said, if any of us can do what?
We can believe.
If we can do what?
Believe.
If we can do what?
Believe.
If we can do what?
Believe.
If we can believe. happen to us if we can believe.
All things
All
are
things.
All
possible.
things are possible to him that what?
Believe.
I believe.
So you see the power of faith now. But you see, look at this hand illustration. Faith carries something. At every point in time, even with God, are you with me? His faith is actually either carrying dunamis, which is the mark of prosperity. Are you seeing it?
Yes.
Or his faith is carrying righteousness, or his faith is carrying wisdom, or his faith is carrying love, or his faith is carrying what? Truth. But you see, once you can understand this faith stuff, I hope you are with me, people of God. Please, especially social media, beyond the course of any question, please. And if there's anything you need as clarity, please do ask. Because these are foundational. They are foundational, but that's what we need. In fact, that's all we need. Once we can understand what faith is, take religion out of faith, knows that the religious part of faith is the lowest part. There's more to faith than religion. Faith comes in your daily living. Faith comes in your attitude to life. Faith comes in how you think. And even the truth, of course, what makes you for real is thumbs up. What makes you fake is what? Thumbs down. But you see, it's thumb to the hand. That's why this truth I'm sharing with you. If you don't believe it, it's not going to work. Don't let anybody deceive you. Just like if faith is this liquid here, without this glass of faith, I won't be able to drink. Am I making some sense, people of God?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So do you see that? And another thing, for the tongue to be the truth, which is why the 2 Corinthians chapter 13 verse 8 says, for none of us can do anything against the truth, but for the truth. The reason why that is so is this. I hope you're following me.
Yes, sir.
The reason why that is so is this. Truth is the tongue, which means that you can get this all other 4 attributes. Apart from the truth, you can get it from Satan, you can get it from the enemy. It's only the truth that makes the difference. Am I making some sense now?
Yes, sir.
First of all,
Yes, sir.
God and every adult human being got the hand, faith, got the container. Are you with me? But you see, man, God, darkness, that is devil and demons, even the angels, they have all the other 4. I'm not sure you're getting it.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
The scripture talks about the wisdom of this world. Things of this world have their spec, their grace. People get prosperity from Satan. People get prosperity from sin. People get dunamis from the occult. But guess what? Nobody gets the truth outside God. Nobody does what?
The
That's
truth
true.
outside God.
The truth.
That means Please listen to this, people of God. This will help you, even though it might shock you. Even though, please listen, people of God. Even though, and I repeat one more time, even though you're a child of God, even though you are nice, even though you are smart, even though you got grace, even though you have prosperity, even though you are walking by faith, once it's not the truth, there is no guarantee God is in that situation. There is no guarantee that God is in your life. There is no guarantee that God, that is why one thing about this truth, it can stand alone. And you are safe. But let me tell you, all these other four, people of God, listen to this. Excuse me. Excuse me. They cannot stand alone. They cannot stand alone. But let me put it this way. Truth is like 100% of God. Love, God's nature, to love people for them, not for yourself, is about 40%. Wisdom, sound mind, intelligent judgment are about 30% of God. Your spec, your grace, your righteousness is like 20%. And prosperity is like 10%. I'm not sure if I'm making sense. Now, if you add 10 plus 20 plus 30 and 40, what does it give you? 100. You now see the reason why I said, when you have truth, you got it all. But if you have all the others, no truth, forget. Now, am I still making some sense?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Or I should reduce the percentage so that that's how the truth is. But why I have to use this illustration is that if you still don't have faith in the truth, it will still not work. Because faith is the container even for the truth. And let me tell you, I've told you, when it comes to faith, none of us is stagnant and none of us is neutral. There's something you have faith in as I'm talking now. And there are things you don't have faith in as I'm talking now. But because you have faith in something does not make it right. It doesn't mean it's the truth. It doesn't mean it will work. It will work, but it will not last. Because it's only the truth that lasts. I hope I'm making these things are people of God.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now let's go. If you notice today's updates that you have, excuse me, please, is on the interesting side, okay? In the sense that they are not the usual charts we're used to. They are majorly people's quotation. And I love that because I've told us many times that it's not the message of truth that matters as much as the truth itself. Just like that, me preaching the truth, I'm just like this glass. Your only reason why you are contacting me because of the truth I have to offer. That's why the day I'm not giving you this truth, go for the person that you have this truth inside. Do you understand that, please?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Now, let's start one by one. And I'm starting with what I call a faith truth. But it's actually communication. but it's also a faith truth. It's about communication. Communication is about faith. Because faith comes by hearing and hearing. But simply put, faith comes by hearing, or faith comes by communication based on the truth. This is a sister who is a medical doctor and who also doubles as a minister side. And she published this word, which I totally agree with. Now, if you have access to a page, that's the thing. You will not see that scripture. I'm the one that put the scripture there. And what does that scripture say? 1 John chapter 3, verse 18. It said, brethren, let us not love in words, but in deed and in truth. Now, this is about faith. You can now see that when people deceive you, it's a force of faith against you they're using. Why you are deceived by somebody is because that person's faith against you is more than your faith in yourself. What did I say? Why people deceive you?
Because the person is more than my faith in myself.
Good. Because when people are talking, now this, you see Merabian model. Now you see one of the links I shared with us today is actually the man. That's the man you see now. That's the man that did it. He's a professor of communication. That's him. He's the one that came up with that formula. That when you are talking, what you are saying, the information is only 70% powerful. That the tone of your voice, you now see the reason why when those pastors want to deceive you, they start talking soft. Shout hallelujah. Because they've realized that the way you talk carries more weight than even what you are saying. Am I making some sense?
Yes, sir.
You know, you see the Old Testament in Proverbs 2. Say a soft answer does what? Turns away anger. In African language, many of you have heard this, that if you want to catch monkey, you do like a monkey. Why? He's talking about tone. And this guy's research said the tone of your voice have 38% effectiveness. But he said the highest percentage is your body language. Do you see that God is a just God? When you say A and you are acting B, God goes with B. And you see that God is a just God, people of God. People of God, oh.
Yes, sir.
I will now say that our Heavenly Father is a just God. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Which means that God is not reactionary. God is not emotional. He's a just God. The way you judge people by their body language, you take them seriously by their, that is the same thing God is doing people. Because God knows what you meant is your body language. Do you not see the reason why Matthew chapter 7 says we should not judge people? Because it's possible you make mistake by what you say to somebody. It's possible you make mistake by how you said it. But guess what? None of us can make mistake with our body language. What did I just say?
None of us can make mistake with our body language.
I cannot make mistakes with my body language.
And for us to know that this is scriptural, let's see that 1 John chapter 5, chapter 3, verse 18. I hope, sisters, you are listening to this.
Yes, sir.
Because many women
Yes, sir.
are in sorrow today, are in disastrous relationship today. Guess what? Because they believe the man's word. They did not look at his body language. So when the man says he loves you, don't look at the word. Don't even look at the tone. What should you look at?
Body
The
language.
body language.
Language.
See, our God is an awesome God. There's nothing that God is doing that is just doing it emotionally. And that's why God says, when we pastors are preaching to you, judge us. Look at our lifestyle. How do we live? Don't give your life to a minister who does not live out what he's preaching. I'm not sure you're getting it. Because everybody's real person is by their action, not by their words. So are we in that 1 John chapter 3, verse 18 now? What did he say here? He said, my little what? Children, let us not do what? Love in word, neither in tongue, speech, but what? In deed and in truth. I don't know whether that Professor Marabian is a Christian, whether he's saved or not, but guess what? His research is the truth. That means that your love, who you love, is who you act in love to, not the person you are saying, I love you. You know, Christ said the same thing in Matthew chapter 5 when he was talking about adultery. Now, when you see, I've told you, brothers, because you have not met a woman, because you have not slept with a woman, because the woman has not gotten pregnant for you, does not mean that's not your wife. And I hope you are listening. Because it's your body language towards the woman that will determine whether she's yours or not. We live in a culture that is women that are changing for the men. That is not right. Every man, even the same man that the woman has changed for, are you with me? That same man will change for any woman he sees as his own. Do you get what I've just said?
Yes, sir.
Every man, adult male, they will leave their father and mother. Their background becomes secondary. The day they meet a woman they see as their wife. But you know how many women don't know? They are listening to their words. They are looking to the tone of the voice instead of looking at the body language. Do we all agree that God is a just God now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So can we move on?
Yes, sir.
This is another write-up that talks about faith. And if you look at the logo at the bottom right-hand corner of this write-up, you will know that this is a Rastafarian movement. And you know the Rastafarians, that movement that many of you, they are identified by their dreadlocks and all that. But let me tell you, this statement from them is a truth about faith. Now see what that statement says. It said, remove expectation from people and you will remove their power to do what? To hurt your feelings. Is it not what I've been telling you God's people for years? See, let me tell you. If you are bad and somebody react to you and say, get on me, you're a bad person, it's not because you are bad. If you are good and somebody says, wow, thank God for meeting you. You are the best thing that has ever happened to me. It's not because that person is like that. It's the way you saw that person that made you to do that. That is what bad people are in our lives and we don't know it. Because what our faith sees is good. Am I making some sense? Sisters, I hope you are listening.
Yes, sir.
You see, I'm on your case today. I got to be. Because Christ has come to set the captive free. And if you are listening to me, you're a child of God, but you are not a pastor. This is also for you. Why you are following that person as pastor is the way you see the person. It doesn't mean God called the person. Hello? What did I just say? Now, the last one. We have forgotten immediately. I said, why you are following that pastor has nothing to do with whether God called him. It's your faith in him that is making you to follow him. If you don't have faith in him, even if God sent him, you won't follow him. So what did I say now?
This pastor, my faith in him is making me to follow. So my faith in him.
You now see the reason why is the truth I've been telling you that at the end of the day, you might see a spiritual family, the pastor is in heaven, none of the flock is in heaven. And it's possible you will see every member of that church organization in heaven. The pastor is not in heaven, he's in hell. This is about faith. When somebody hurts you, is their faith, is your faith in them that hurts you? Somebody you don't have faith in. Please, I hope you are listening.
Yes, sir.
Many of us, we are champions of faith, but we are not truthful people. And it's truth that matters. See, let me tell you something about faith. You are going to still walk by faith. So instead of being faith conscious, be truth conscious. What did I just say, people of God?
Instead of being faith conscious.
I never said be faith conscious. I said instead of being faith conscious, be truth conscious. Because we all walk by faith. Even if you are not taught about faith, you are walking by faith. So be conscious of it. Be a person of the truth. That's why the body of Christ is called the ground and pillar of the truth, not the ground and pillar of faith. All of us, once you are an adult human being, you walking by faith. That's what I'm saying. Put that in one place. It will come. All of us have our cup of faith. It's what we have faith in that you need to walk in. And I'm telling you, the best thing to start having faith in is the truth. Not even love. Not even sound mind. Nothing but the truth. But there's no way you will go for the truth that the others will not be taken care of. They'll be taken care of. You will make sound judgment. You will end up prospering. You will end up fulfilling your purpose. You will end up being a nice person. But why I'm bringing this up so that you can separate faith from truth. This is a faith statement. Understood?
Understood.
Yes.
Now, the next one I'm sharing with us is now about truth. We've had this before as a link, but I cut this write-up out of it. I only remembered about a week or two ago we had this as a link and other people, but I just cut it because it fits what I'm sharing with you. And what this man said, and I quote, he said, when the whole world is running towards a cliff, the person that is running in the opposite direction appears to have lost his mind. The person is looked up to like a mad person. Do you see what you might have to do in your life for the truth? To be a person of truth in your life, you might have to appear mad. What did I just say?
Place of truth, you have to.
To be a person of truth, you have to appear more.
Now, before we go into more write up about truth, let me show you another one that is about grace but not truth. Because grace is that finger that follows prosperity. Let me show you that again. Can you see this hand again?
Yes, sir.
Let me see if I could put them side by side. One of these write up has to do with grace, righteousness, your design. Beautiful. And another thing you notice about that thumb of truth is that it can relate to the other finger. Okay? It has power to talk about the other finger. Just like if you see your hand, your thumb easily touches the other four fingers readily. But try and let the other two, you almost break your finger. You use so much effort. But easily, the tongue does that. You see that? Now, this is my minister, friend, brother, and contact. You see his name there. Because you know me, when the write up is not mine, I don't claim the glory, okay? Because the scripture says we should give honor to whom honor is due. At least if these brethren, brothers and sisters who labor to identify this thing of truth, then one should give them. So now see this too, but it's about grace. It's about that fourth finger, okay? It says, if you were created, now this sounds hilarious, but it's the truth. See, because something is funny does not mean it's not the truth. Because something is hurtful does not mean it's not the truth. So if you are created to be a carpenter, and you turned out to be what? A tailor. And what do tailors do? They make dresses. What will you do? He said the dress you'll be making will end up looking like what? A chair. You know that's what is marriage happening in marriage today. Women want to be the one to marry. It can't work. It's men that are designed to marry. It's a man that is designed to marry you. So when you are going after a man, what you will end up doing is glorify somebody else's husband. Not your own. Because you are not created to initiate that process. As a woman, you are created to respond. That's why Christ reached out to the church first, and now the church were responding. It cannot be married if the man does not reach out first. Because that's how you are designed. Life is about design, people. Which is why many of us are not happy. Because you are not functioning in your place of purpose. You are fulfilling somebody else's purpose. Do you know why this guy will keep on making a dress that will look like a chair? Because he's a carpenter by grace. That is why if I didn't follow my purpose, I decided to go into business and all that. Let me say, I will still be preaching without knowing it. The only time I will not be preaching the truth, because that's not what I'm following consciously. Like this person now is making dress which look like a chair. But it's not dressing that should look like a chair. It's wood, it's timber, it's plank that should look like a chair. If the reverse too is true, do you know the person that's supposed to be a tailor, you are working like a carpenter, you'll be making wood that will look like dresses. But it's cloth that should look like dresses. Are you getting it now? That's why it's easy to succeed in life. Just have your faith in the truth. Let me show us. We've seen communication, truth. We've seen faith, we've seen grace, truth, okay?
Yes.
Where should I start? Let me tell you a truth about religion. For some of you still don't want to divorce religion. See this truth about religion. The brother that came up with this truthful rema, that's his name, John Iwangi. And I totally agree. See what this brother says. He said religion is the devil's most successful what? Project. You know that is true. There's a research that was done by United Nations. You know what they discovered? That religion is the number one cause of wars in the world. That religion is the reason why nation upon nation. You know how many men and women have been put to death because of religion? Because of marriage, the stupidity of marriage and religion, a woman has been sentenced to death by hanging in Nigeria. And some people are saying, yes, whoever kills must be killed. And I ask people, I said, okay, fine. But have people forgotten that Islamic religion forbids women to divorce? She cannot divorce unless the man agrees. It's the man that can wake up and says, I divorce you. Everybody say, why can't she walk away? Then people should listen to the testimony of her mother. The mother said if she had known, she would have agreed for her to divorce. Because for a woman in Islam to divorce, your husband must be the one that will agree. Then your parents must agree. In fact, religion is a... See, sisters.
Yes, sir.
Sisters.
Yes, sir.
If you love yourself, continue being religious. No woman should be found in any religion. But there's no religion, including Christian religion, that pays women. There's no single religion. It's women that you will see, they'll be flogging. You know, in days of Christ, it's a woman they wanted to stone for adultery. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Answer me, people of God. Yes or no?
Yes.
What about the man she was sleeping with?
Yes.
I just told you on Sunday, go to naming ceremony of boys. Nobody will say you will not carry somebody else's boat. It is the girl. How can you be born as a baby? They are already telling you you are here for a man. And you keep on saying, amen. Continue. Now she's lost it. In fact, I saw another lady who wrote something on the article. It's funny, but this is just of common sense. Say if she was afraid, you are told her to use the man for money ritual. Because both secular court and Islamic court, they cannot prove juju. He said, and even the guy's family said, well, even be taking care of her. Who knows she's the one that used their husband for. But let me tell you this: with that, you are going to see more violence. Because you can't do anything against the truth. Women are not going to see that despite the fact that you kill yourself a man, you are still not that man's wife because he didn't choose you. That's the truth. What makes you a man's wife is when he gives his life for you. How many couples do you know that the man has? Let me tell you what is deceiving many people. Because you will see kings who has given their life to a woman who is not a queen. But once she's not a queen, she's not going to lift that man up. She's not going to. That is what is destroying this whole thing I'm telling you about marriage. But people see that and it's like, what does Ade, what does Mike, what does Steve have to do, have to show for him giving his life for a woman. That's why you see them tell them you can't spare, you can't love a woman like that. But why it's like that? Because in that case, that woman was, in fact, the woman was either transactional or domineering or seducing or wounded woman or a slave. That is why she didn't lift up that king. Not as if you now a woman can choose. No. No. And when you're a queen, the day you decide that you need a husband, that day you are no longer a queen. You have dropped from queen to transactional downwards to slave. The day you start telling yourself, I must marry. The day, even if you are married, you defend your husband. No, even if you are a queen before, immediately you drop. That's the truth. We're still going to see more. And this is religion. See what this guy said? He said religion is the devil's most of it. It makes you to beg God for what God has already done. But let me tell you, it's not only God we are begging, we are begging fellow human beings. Religion makes you inferior. Is it not out of religion, culture, tradition that makes a woman to feel she cannot achieve? That makes a man to feel they are superior than women? What is in a man's brain that is not in a woman's brain? The difference is in the body, in the hormones. Are you with me? In the genes, the empathy genes that women have, that women don't have. But not in the intellect, not in the emotions. You can be a man and be caring. And you can be a woman and be intelligent. There's nothing that says it's only men that must be smart and women stupid. There's nothing that says it's only women that must be nice and men must be nasty. You can be a man and be nice. You can be a woman and be what? Intelligent. And you can be any of you and be saved. The human spirit. So what are we talking about? And nobody is going to make it in this world because you're a man or woman. So why should you sisters believe you cannot ever make it until you marry? Where is that? The men that need you, I'm yet to see stupidity to that level with men. Do you know that when the people that are writing comments, it's only men that were writing the comment? That's absolutely right. That's how men will rejoice over your stupidity. Huh? You will see what will start happening now. Women will start killing themselves when their parents are pressurizing. Because they are beginning to see that it's all in the mindset. It's all a belief system that makes you to think you cannot achieve your purpose without marriage. That makes you to believe you are here to marry. That you are here to have a child. And this pastor that preached, their end has come. But Christ has said, every planting not planted by the Father shall be taken out. And let me tell you, this group of man or woman that you are you with me? It's not marriage that makes you like that. Are you with me? It is who you are before the marriage. That's why you're a king before meeting a woman, a queen. And you're a queen before a king comes into your life. Fine, you might change because of the marriage. But it's not as if it's marriage. When I say king or queen, when I say transactional, are you with me? Domineering, seductive, or wounded. When I talk about being a slave or being lustful, it is. Do you know that? Go and check it. If you know, listen, God's people, listen to this. If you know a man's slave or a woman's slave, are you with me?
Yes, sir.
It's not only in their marriage they will be slaves. In their place of work they will be slaves. Go and do your research. If you know a man who is a slave to the wife, if you know a woman that is a slave to her husband, just go to her place of work. They are the people they will give work that other people will not do, and they will take it. So it's not marriage that makes you this. Don't think it's only marriage. That's who you are. Marriage joy expresses who you are. I hope you are getting that, people of God, please. Okay, that's a question on that.
Can Psalm 37 verse 25 support this chart that the discharge from the hand of divine attributes?
Psalm what? Psalm 37.
Psalm 37, verse 25.
Psalm 37, verse 25. The question from social media is that can we say it supports this latest chart? Psalm 37, verse 25. Psalm 37, verse 25. Psalm 37, verse 25. Psalm 37, verse 25. Okay. Psalm 37, verse 25 is one of my favorite scriptures of the Bible. And I read, this is something David declared at his old age. King David said, I've been young, now I'm old. Yet I've not seen the righteous forsaken, nor his seed begging bread. I want to tell you, yes, this has everything to do with it. In fact, another thing in the Old Testament, the word righteous or righteousness was used for many things. It was used for truth. It was also used for grace. So anywhere you see righteous or right, you have to find out, is it talking about truth or is it talking about grace? Here it's talking about truth. So the best way to appreciate the scripture is that people say, I have not seen the truthful forsaken. Which lets people, what I'm saying, that go for the truth. Let your faith always go for the truth. What is the truth about this situation? Because it will work for you. And religion is falsehood. Religion is built on falsehood. The basis of religion is you doing something to please God. There's nothing you can do to please God that will fulfill your purpose. And let me tell you, Colossians, Apostle Paul took religions apart. Go to Colossians chapter 2. I've read that to you, but many of you are still doing it. Many of you are still religious. Maybe I'm your pastor. I know the headache you give me. I know how you don't take me serious. Because I don't give you prophecy. I don't answer you when you expect me to pray for you. See what Apostle Paul said in Colossians 2:18. He said, let no man deceive you of your reward in a voluntary humility and worshipping of angels, intruding into things they have not seen, vainly plucked up with their fleshly mind, telling you things. Some of you never got back to me. That upper Monday of 2020, did you get text? Did you see so many programs? Just playing with people's mind. Just playing with people's mind. See the number one country of the world. You that you're supposed to be a president, you talk against women, talk to people anyhow, insulting people. And somebody is telling you that it's God sent because he allows prayer back into the school. Is prayer the highest work of faith? What is prayer when you are honest? When Christ tells us that if you have issues with somebody, don't pray. Look at even verse 16 of that same Colossians. He said, let no man judge you in what you are eating, in what you are drinking, in respect of an holy day. You see what I said about Sunday, the last service? Of new moon or Sabbath days. You see that? Which are a shadow of things to come, but the body is Christ. So that scripture is perfectly on point. And true religion Sisters especially.
Yes, sir.
Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
If Christ was religious, he would not have talked with the woman at the issue of a well of water. That woman was Samaria. Have you ever noticed that such people are not welcome with any religion? Not a virgin. See, and I've told you, brothers, if your present wife now, brothers, listen to me, you married her because she's a virgin, you're a rapist. And consequences is coming to you. What is it? The story of the 10 virgins, what in the 10 virgins? What did God call those ones who made the brand new? What was it in that party? What did Christ call them? I know the Bible.
Foolish.
No, the one that made the
Foolish, the one that made the background, the bridegroom, the wise one.
Yes.
Is that not what was said?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank God, both of them were virgins. I'm sure if Christ knew that we would be so corrupted in religion today, Christ would have used 10 wives. And you know that the wife is not a virgin. And on the honeymoon night, she has been poked. So that you will know that because you have been poked does not mean you cannot fulfill your purpose. Especially when you are a woman. Ah. We are raising up our guests. Be telling them, keep yourself for a man. You are not telling them, keep yourself for your purpose. You are not telling your daughter, keep yourself for heaven. You are telling, keep them for another human being, somebody else's son who has been badly raised. To say nothing is wrong. The women are told me, the more oil you can poke, the more of a king that you are. Continue. Let me see how many women you will execute. As I've told you, sisters, wake up. Tell yourself the truth. God will rise on your behalf. And the scripture we just read, King David said he has not seen the truthful person being forsaken. Because none of us can do anything against the truth. So you see yourself concerning religion now.
Yes.
It's of Satan. Let's move on to another area of truth. This one I call it wisdom truth. In fact, this one, the writer says, is a hard pill to swallow. It's about faith, but it's the sound mind part of faith. When you use your faith for your sound mind. See what he says? He said, not everybody you want in your life wants you in their home. I'm trying to tell you the shocking thing. That person might be your wife that doesn't want you in their life anymore. That person might be your husband. That person might be your adult children. That person might be your parents. Am I with you? That person might be your siblings. That person might be your neighbor. That person might be your so-called friend. That is why, of this God's attribute, I've told you, start by using your faith for the only masculine one among them, which is sound mind. Know where you are in people's life before you open up to them. Are you with me, people of God? You're a man, you're a king, you are giving your life to a queen. Once she's not responding, know that she's not a queen anymore, she will never lift you up. Put yourself together and move on. You're a woman. In error, you have lifted up a man who is not a king, or who's you are not this one. Tell yourself the truth and move on with your and start using your faith. See it here. See, not everybody who wants you, your life wants you there. So don't bend over backwards, trying to force them to stay when they could really care less if you are around or not. See, let me tell you this. You'll be so shocked that if you act dead for one day, even in Yoruba language, there's a saying like that. That pretend that you are dead. You will see how many people will shed tears over you. That's the truth. And let me tell you, you have this life to live. You only have this one shot. The scripture is appointed of man once die. And not the second shot. Why must you be living your life for somebody else? You are here primarily for yourself. The scripture says, the just shall live by his own faith. In fact, to love another person, Christ said, love your neighbor as yourself. Pastor James called it golden law. Apostle Paul calls it the first law. You must love yourself first. Many of us will carry all our life into one pastor. Sisters, carry all your life into somebody in the name of husband. Why? A worker, you carry your wife in the name of one boss. Citizen of country in the name of president. A president wishes you well. Talk to repentance. Make fun of people who are physically challenged. And you say that one is God sent. Which is why many people don't want God anymore. Because they see this God as if he's a bad God. How can God ever be for such a person? And you say you are going to heaven. I think they think heaven is a place of foolishness. Or heaven is a place of nastiness. Any of these attributes that you don't have, you'll never find yourself in heaven. Heaven is filled with these 5 attributes. Heaven is a place of truth, a place of love, a place of wisdom, a place of grace, and a place of prosperity. But the difference between heaven and hell, that you don't show you will not miss it, is truth. I've told you it's possible you're a nice person, but not truthful. It's the truth that matters. So start putting yourself together, people. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Now let me be coming to familiar territory now. But before I come to familiar, let me talk about true definition of prosperity. But this one, I'm saying this truth backward. I call it failure truth. You have it in your update today. What do I call it?
Failure truth.
And this is a statement the great man of God in his lifetime, Dr. Miles Monroe, said. One of the truth he said. And see, he said the greatest what? Failure. That you think is about naira and dollar. That you think is about marriage. How can somebody, you are boasting to another person that person is a failure? Because the person doesn't have children, the person is not married. And you think you are saying, you are making fun of somebody else, that the person cannot have children. Abba. Satan self is learning from you. If you are that person. You are Satan's teacher in wickedness. Even Satan will say, I'm not this wicked. Look at success and failure people. Say the greatest failure in life is somebody. Now I keep on saying this here. You know, this one now. Because this one you will think you are a success. Excuse me. Because if you are in this situation, you will think you are successful. When you are not. It's an illusion if you find it is. Do you know that? You know, when you are successful in something, you think is right. That's why he said the greatest failure in life is someone who is successful in what? A wrong assignment. You see, this is why I always tell you that pray that when you are in the wrong, it doesn't work for you. So that you will not be on a wild goose chase. That's what Christ said the way to disruption is so wide. You know why it's so wide? Because people are successful in it. So to them, nothing spoiled. Nothing spoiled. But many of us were tied to success. Many of us, once something is not working for us, we sit up. But once it's working, nobody can touch us. Do you know you are talking to? That's our language. Do you know who am I? Sit. That's why I keep on saying, you fulfilling the reason why you are is the most important. And let me tell you this, like Christ said in Matthew 6:33. Christ said, when you put first his kingdom and your assignment, he said, even those things that other people are running, they will come to you. So today, if you are listening to me, you are fulfilling your assignment, please don't be discouraged. Payday is here. Galatians 6 says, don't stop, don't be weary in it. He said, because you will reap if you faint not. God that was he said the word of them that diligently, the devil wants you to feel discouraged. That's why it looks as if did this. Have you not been there before? Man, even meet somebody who meet you on a similar assignment and they're already receiving their reward. See, maybe that person is a bungalow. Maybe your own is an high rise. The bungalow will finish now before your own. Not because of success. Not because of result. Just make sure you are fulfilling your purpose. People will not understand. Christ never said people will understand. People will persecute you once that purpose is your purpose. That's why I keep on telling, when we get to heaven, we will see this man and his wife, Aquila, and his wife, Priscilla. They will tell you their story. How Aquila supported the wife, despite the critical, delicate nature of her purpose. Why Priscilla didn't allow her marriage, even though she didn't marry her pastor, didn't allow her marriage to stop her from fulfilling her purpose. And let me tell you, the way you have spiritual purpose, you also have natural purpose. And I've told you, start by going after your passion. Anybody that is meant to be in your life will support your passion. Capiche?
Capiche.
Now, I say I'm going to familiar territory now. But when I say familiar territory, you know that I'm talking about marriage. So I'm starting with man. The next truth is what called what? A male truth. Okay, this is what somebody used to call somebody man. Okay, I was wondering which language was it. I didn't know it's English. Okay. So are we seeing this male truth now?
Yes, sir.
Brothers, this is for you. With all your anointing and muscle. Said being male is a matter of birth. That's why it's divine. None of us choose to be in this way body. Are you with me? Then being a man is a matter of age. But being a gentleman, being a king, is a matter of what? Choice. So if you're a king today, you are the one that made yourself one. To somebody I will start calling him prophet. I've told him. Not that he is not a king. It's just that he prophesied something since last year and he came to the letter. So it's good to appreciate people so that tomorrow when God is telling them, they will say, God, if that one as weird as it is came to pass, I will trust you for this new one. So brothers, can you see this?
Yes, sir.
No circumstance can turn you into a gentleman. It's your choice. It's your choice. It's your choice that makes you a fulfiller of your purpose. It's your choice that will make you a respecter of women. It's your choice that will make you to take responsibility. It's your choice that will make you to have the interest of a child first. It's your choice that will make sure you don't abandon your mother. It's your choice. It's not a matter of birth and it's not a matter of growing up. It's a matter of choice. And choice is thinking pattern. Your mindset. Is that okay, brothers?
Very well, sir. Thank you.
Brothers, is that okay?
It's okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Sisters, can we go to your home, please?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
This is by a group called The Other Room. And this post was last year, November 19 to be precise. This is an advice. Sisters, open your ears, open your eyes, open everything to swallow this and digest it. This is from a woman to a woman. This is how you fulfill your, this is how you become a queen. If I should have even called it queen truth and that one king's truth. But I hope you understand the message inside. See this one woman is saying to other you sisters, say woman, If you don't strive for greatness and empower yourself, listen to where you'll be relevant. You'll be relevant only in the kitchen. That's why you see those women slave. You know, women normally say that. They say women's department is the kitchen. That's a man that is a slave. Or in the living room. That's for the transactional. So in the living room, you welcome visitor and you talk business. And he said, and the other room. Of course, you know what the other room is? The bedroom. For the wounded and the lustful. That you think that your body is to satisfy a woman. Do you know that women, if their man sleeps around, they hold themselves responsible? It shows that you are lustful. It shows that you are wounded. It shows that the only woman you are better than is a slave, because you two are a form of a slave. Why should God create you to be a person that will satisfy another person? Are you the one that put the problem in his life? If a man grew up to be unsatisfied, if you ask his mother, what concerns you? Even the diaper and the bib I say you should buy, it's mom that should have bought it for him. And he should propose to you with that bib and diaper. Have you seen this, sisters?
Yes, sir.
And this is the woman is saying that if you don't do that, not only will you only be relevant in the kitchen and all the living room and all the other room, you will never get to the boardroom. You never get to that point where you generate your own happiness, your own. Why should it be? Nancy said it on Sunday, and I've not seen this. Remember what I said on Sunday? I said, do you know that when you have a couple walking, hardly do you see the woman being able to go for official trip because of the kids. But the man feel they can go. But women have believed they are only meant for kitchen or the living room or the other room. The way a man is meant for the boardroom, you two you are meant for the boardroom. What did I just say, sisters?
The way man is making meant for the body.
Speaking in tongues have started. Okay, we'll continue. We have delivered the truth to every one of us. Okay. Let's move on. I say it's familiar territory. And let me now join. Now I've talked about the men's room, I've talked about the women's room. So let me join it. The next truth, I call it marriage truth. From the site Law of Universe. And you can check it out. Date or go out with the person. This is for both men or women. Go out or date or marry the person who tells you to what? Be safe and have fun when you are going out. Not the one that gets angry. My sister said, I always say this. Majorly, women are guilty of this, but some men too are in that prison. There are men who cannot go out until the wife approves it. There are men that they must put their phone on speaker so that the wife will know they are not who they are talking with. You know, they won't have peace. That's not God's will. God didn't create you for that. The first man, God made him free. And see what he says, say marriage should be a partnership. Friendship should be not ownership. You don't own your wife doesn't own you. This thing of ownership is evil. When the scripture says you have access, privilege to each other's body, doesn't mean you own the body. You a man, do you have the blood group of your wife? It's a privilege. You have access to her body. It's a privilege she has access to your body, not a right. And that's why this thing called marriage has become evil. Because you tell people they can't walk away. So that's why you see people keep on killing themselves. Why? Why should everybody become murderers? Why? You You change houses, you change job, you change clothes. Why can't you change a human being that is more important than that? Why must a human being be subject to your life? Do you know it's the same thing that is happening with religion? You cannot change religion. Do you know some religion, if you convert, they will stone you to death. They will kill you. And you say they are serving God. How can God order you to kill another human being because they change the way of worship? Why can't somebody decide? And it's so bad with marriage. For the women, they must worship the man's religion. What kind of nonsense is that? You have said my own. But what I know, as the Lord liveth, everybody that's owned their church members, their workmen, their spouse bondage, they are going for it. But when Christ came, say, I came to set the captives free. Why should somebody else not fulfill their purpose because of you? Who are you? You will see in one of the links today. You know, last Sunday I gave you a link where a pastor died. Huh? See who is dead again. Can you see this?
Yes, sir.
Can you see who's dead now? Can we see who's dead, people of God?
We can see, sir.
Yes, sir.
Is it not coming near now? When I was saying this thing, you turned me into a prophet of doom. I don't prophesy, I just say the truth. It's coming near now. Take care of your life, people of God. Don't waste your life. Your life is precious. Don't forget. Asking your question is very important. They said. The next one, which is also about marriage, I call it marital truth. This is by a pastor. And you see the name of the pastor there. Judah Flourish. And I totally agree with it because this is scriptural. See what this pastor said. He said, human beings, we are not made for marriage. It's marriage that is made for us. But his comment is totally scriptural. He said, whosoever is asking you, is that not what these pastors do? Is that not what culture does? When on that day of wedding ceremony, this is what they're saying. When they say for better, for worse. Say, whosoever asks you to stay in an abusive marriage is an enemy of God. And let me tell you, if it's your parents, they are enemy of God. What is this thing that parents are always right? Pastor is always right. Spouse is always right. Why must you be in a situation that endanger your purpose, endanger your life? Your happiness, your fulfilling your purpose matters so much to God. Remember what I told you on Sunday? When you all answered that question, that the fastest way to heaven is to die. For us not to be dead, for God not to kill us, for Christ to pray that Heavenly Father should keep us in this world, means that being here is more important than being a fan in heaven. You are needed here. There's a reason why you're here. So why should one relationship with another person here that will endanger that be more important than your purpose? This is God's people. Take care of your life. I think that's about the updates. Any question before we call it an evening? Go ahead to you with your question, please.
Sir, okay, sir. Sir, I want to ask, I need a clarification based on the fact that we are governed by our beliefs. If I have we are facing tribulations, trials, might also have a past. And I'm still only, I was also looking at the other point that said you make expectation from people and you remove their power to what you're feeling. So I now check First Corinthians chapter 18 that says no believe all things. I don't know going to balance it. I didn't understand how to balance that in terms of this is one of the attributes of love or charity that I believe what and how I believe in a person. How do I balance it from having expectation from people?
All right. The question is, how do you balance walking in love? Well, I've told us, wisdom, sound mind comes before walking in love. If something does not make sense, don't walk in love in it. If you do that, you have destroyed yourself. You are the one that committed suicide if you die in it. Christ told us, be wise as serpent first before being harmless as a dove. Rather than think, 1 Corinthians 13 that said, Lord believeth all things, is contradictory to watch and pray. Keep watch over yourself. It's not contradictory. It's because you put love before wisdom that makes it look contradictory. Before you open up to somebody, who are they? How do they see you? As a man, before you give your life as a king to a woman, ask yourself, is she a queen? And no queen will ever turn down or cripple a king who has given his life to her. The moment she's not lifting it up, she's no longer a queen. But the reason why kings will die there is because they put love before sound mind. Even though love is higher, just like truth, than sound mind, start with sound mind. Sound mind is not just before grace. It's not just before prosperity. It's also before love and truth. That's why I keep on asking us. Be asking yourself this question. This thing I'm about to do, does it make sense? If it doesn't make sense, forget it. But we don't do that. We say we want to pray about it. The moment you say you want to pray about something, Satan will tell you what you want to hear. Are you with me? What did I just say, people of God?
What I want to hear.
Before you go into prayer, you must ask, does this make sense? That's why we are all deluded. So in answering that question from you, is not conflicting, it is complementary. It's just like, what is faith? Faith is the relationship between your intellect, your mind, and your emotions. So before something gets your emotion, think about it. Because once your emotions take over, your emotions carry your passion. You will run with it. Fine. Love will make you, when you love somebody, you will believe the best of that person. Yes. That's what 1 Corinthians 13 is saying. But this truth I'm sharing with you is telling you, before you get to that point, let sound mind ask this person, is this person worthy of my love? Are you getting the people of God? Even if the person is your sibling, even if the person is your adult child. See, let me tell you, parents, there are some children, when they have become adults, if you are going to fulfill your purpose, you must forget about them. And let me tell you, as a child too, once you're a child, adult child, there are some parents you must forget because they have cut you off. That's the truth. Because that relationship is God-given. On no account should you wake up and turn your back on your children. Even though you're not forcing them to do whatever, but doesn't mean you cut them off. Once a parent does that for you, move on and fulfill your purpose. Holding on to such parent will cost you your purpose. And the same thing, your parents, you have raised up your children the way they should go. They are now adults. They now cut you off. You are now going after them. Going after them will kill you and they will make fun of you out there. They will kill the cow. Cow they never fed you. In your lifetime, they will eat it and be dancing and call a bandstand. I'm talking about. See, once somebody is an adult human being, there's nothing you can do for another adult human being. Unless that adult human being. See, none of you, no matter your prayer and your love for me, you can't decide I will go to heaven. It's my choice. And guess what? As your pastor, I can't decide that. So if I can't decide that, is it you that will decide that for your husband? My husband, no. Or is it you that will decide for my wife? My queen, no. You can't. The best you can do as a man, who is your wife, but doesn't mean she's a queen. And doesn't mean she will respond to you. So once she's not responding to you, better move on. If not, you have committed suicide. And for you sisters, there's not, no matter what you like the man, there's not, pray about it. It doesn't mean you will be his wife. So don't stop your purpose in the name. You say you didn't know, now you know. Days of ignorance is past. Don't wait until you now have blood in your hand before you wake up. Another lawyer is in jail now, in Kirikiri, over the same thing. That one cut off the husband's organ. She's actually in prison now. But when people like me are saying, they will say I'm jealous of their husband. They will say because I've never experienced what it means for a woman to carry a man on their head. Okay, continue. Brothers, please continue. When they kill you. Yes, now. Say, you two are jealous of me. Sorry, you say I'm jealous of you. If you tell me that I'm interested in your wife, that's why I'm preaching this message. Please keep your wife. Oh. When she kill you, wherever you are, you will see when they kill her. That my hand no day. It's true. Any other question before we call it an evening?
Next question.
Oh, okay.
Thank you, sir. So my question, I'm not sure how to put it. There was an incident that happened on Sunday morning, and it's like all over the media. An American basketball legend died in a helicopter crash with his 13-year-old, two other teenage friends, and there were 9 in total. But the kind of things that have been trending over the incident, like everybody has a theory as to what could have happened. Some said that the man, because he was having an incestuous relationship with his 13-year-old daughter, that was why. Some said because someone in 2012 had prophesied in quotes that he would die in a plane crash, so that's what caused it. Some said because of the rape case of before, all sorts of things. But from the word, because like we know about the truth, everything happens for a reason. So I just want to know that from the word, because this is someone that his mother is still alive, and by all indications, he was a good father to his daughter. By all indications, he was a good father to his daughter and a good husband to the wife. So just from the word, from what we've been learning now, what could possibly happen? Thank you, sir.
The question he asked is about the untimely, unplanned, unexpected exit of an American basketball star, specifically Kobe Bryant, who passed on the company of his 13-year-old daughter. And there was some other families in that blink who also had, the one even had his wife apart from the daughter. So the question is, what could have was, of course, they called a number of things. But before I get into that, I saw a write-up to Nigerians that made a lot of sense. And the person was talking to Nigerians who went gaga over the thing, saying this, saying that. The person asked them that, how many of them even know this Kobe Bryant if they were to meet him in person? That, why should an American life be more important than a Nigerian life, if not that we are still slaves in our mind? That if the guy had been a Nigerian, even though he's an American, but if he's a Nigerian by birth, that nobody does. He now mentioned a footballer who was captain the national team. That nobody recognized when he died. That even the Football Association did not send a delegate. That was kind of. So, most of all these things just shows. See, slavery is a mental thing. Maybe God willing on Sunday, I will start with that scripture in Proverbs that a country, a nation that is ruled by a king with a slave mentality is destroyed. That is the kind of state of our nation. Presently, that we should be celebrating because we have a president who means well. But apart from him and his vice president, almost every other person in government, they are still those kind of monsters that have been ruling us. And the citizens are still slaves. Nobody is saying these things. The church is even worse off. You've been enslaved. You see yourself as a slave to a pastor. You are carrying all. Do you know many people? What January is tough. If you are telling you, it takes somebody said to me, very rude and insulting. The person was telling me, I don't tell you she's broke. I doesn't have money. Because they know me, I don't go after your boss. I tell you the truth. Does that not mean? Which is why I told you that when I was telling you on Sunday, and you are worried. I said, don't worry, I can take your answer. When I was telling you the place of a pastor, I know you are thinking that such people will hear that message. They say, okay, it's his job to give me money. Their own job is to now give somebody who already have 4 jets, private jets, all their January salary. Some as stupid as the yearly allowance their company paid them in Ghana, they give everything to these pastors. When the scripture says that give unto, say, even if you are supposed to give one, it should be the last. After you pay your children's school fees, after you take care of your wife, after you take care of your parents, it should even be the last. After you pay your house rent. Let's say that that's Nigeria. Let's continue there. Now, so to answer that question, but a lot of things could have gone wrong. If his mother, please, sister, what is? You have a lot of transactional women who will have issue with their child. See, let me see if you know such women. Once they have issue with their child, when they are sick child, that's how they will have that issue. Even when that child becomes an adult. But no queen, under no circumstance, should have, even if you have 1 million children, you won't have issue against any of those 1 million. You won't have favorite as a woman. Any woman that is no more a queen. And let me tell you what you don't know. If you are such a woman, as you already have reservation toward that your child, you are already sending a demon after that child. So if that child is an adult and doesn't cut off from such a mother, if he doesn't have a God, it's enough for such a thing to happen. Being a man, you see all those children there, they are just, what did I call them? When people, some innocent people die during war, there's something they call them. Collateral damage. All the children are just collateral damage. They didn't cause anything. But children are the purest people on earth. Are you with me? Being a man, or it might not even be him. all the other men there.
That's another thing.
They might be cutting the daughter, the first daughter of Jezebel as their new wife. That's a brother I'm telling you. See, there's some women you must not even have the least. They must not have children for you. Talk less of you sleep with them. Talk less of you desire them. Talk less of you cut them. You are dead. Because of the demons they command. That is why Solomon said, he knew it practically now. He had 1,000 experimental laboratory or test tubes. And 3 of those test tubes were pickers. The other 700 were pipettes or something. He is talking from experience. He said, favor is deceit and beauty is vain. They're talking about somebody sexy. You only read sexy women and women that have brain. God fearing.
Amen.
Forget body. Doesn't mean anything. That's why you see the society, because society is majorly being run by men. That's why it's upside down. Because many of these men, the women in their life are first daughter of Satan. So it could also be that. If a man is born again, it could be the pastor they are following. For Christ to say what you hear is the same way of saying what you believe in. What you are following. Even in the days of Moses, was Moses able to protect all the children of Israel? Was Joshua, when he took over, was able to protect? Is Joshua what he said? For me and my household, you can't protect another person who is an adult, who doesn't have faith in you, no matter the grace you carry. Unless that person has your DNA. Even if, please listen to me, if a woman is a queen fulfilling her faith purpose, there are some things, like I said on Sunday, I didn't say the reverse, but I said the reverse today. There are some things the man who is the father of the children, if the children are still not yet adult, will do that nothing will happen. Because he's the father of the children of a faithful woman. But guess what? There are also some things he will do that he will joke in. Because mercy is not as powerful as grace. It's grace that can stop sin. The Bible says that can we continue in sin and grace abound? But mercy takes care of consequences of sin. So once you are in sin, grace cannot work. And somebody else can never work for you. It's somebody's mercy that can cover you. Which is why you see me try to encourage you with. See, let me tell you, there are things some women have said. Remember what I told you some weeks ago about that woman making fun of another woman that one didn't have a child at her age. Such women, because not have them, because they didn't use their own hand to bury their own child, they think they are okay. They are not okay. Like that kind of, I'm sure, that other woman that said that her own mother is still alive, who is God fearing. That's what we keep her. But some people will think nothing is spoiled. Until the day they will go and touch somebody whose grace and faithfulness is even more than mama, they will chop that kid that day. That's what the scripture says. When you do wrong and you know it's wrong, it's already a sin. Because, see, separate death, which is consequence of sin, from sin. Mercy takes care of death. Mercy cannot take care of sin. And you cannot enjoy grace when you are in sin. It cannot work. So a lot of things could have happened. And if we look at it too, from Jonah's example and Apostle Paul's example, it might not even be any of them. It might not be their mother. It could be that one of them is outright disobedience and brought that evil. And it could also be stupidity of taking risks that you should not take. Because life is about laws. Don't forget, before you go into this one I'm saying, they are spiritualism. Before you go into spiritualism, did they fulfill all the natural laws? Do you know that the police department refused to fly their helicopter because of the bad weather? You that you are not police. Just like recently, some of you witnesses. People that could burn somebody. Even when they had issues with, they were running away, they were fighting one another. Nobody could face you. You wake up because somebody is calling you pastor. You think it's me now. Yes. If something happens that people will say, how did it happen? So it's even possible that it was just that, taking things for granted. He was a nice person. He has used this helicopter in emergency, for family, for friends, for his colleague, what football is going on, for even some of his daughters' class. That is how a nice person it was. People could have told me before that some people in there who are nicer than you and I. In anything you are doing, start with this sound mind. Don't caution. So it's possible it's not even any of his spiritual reason. It could even be a natural reason. The reason why I didn't start with that, I don't expect somebody who has been that exposed. I'm not sure you're getting it.
Yes.
Of course, none of the dead can talk and defend themselves. So people will say all sorts. That's why you see many people, the story keeps on changing. The more they are seeing facts. That's why I didn't start with that natural. I didn't want to believe that such a person would that stupid. Stupid people and will not think of other people. And he has thought of other people. So I don't. This is somebody that he actually purchased the helicopter not to show that he has money. Because where they live, there is a lot of go slow. And he didn't buy it for himself. He bought it for his children so that they will not be late for school. Rather. So you see that some person that will not be taking risk, that even though they say don't fly, you will still fly. So that's why I do. But it's possible it's also a natural thing. So those are the myriad of things that could have happened. But that one that prophesied, see all this prophecy of death, somebody will die this year. Leave those people. Death is coming their way. And what kind of thing is that? Let me tell you, people of God, the scripture says there is now no condemnation to them in Christ Jesus. The scripture says there is no fear in love. Let somebody be prophesying. It's because of people faith in them, they think they are scoring. We're in era of truth. Era of truth. If that's how one the professor wanted, he now said it is the one government that bombed the strong building that collapsed.
Okay.
See another one that has come out. He said if they allow him, if they are nobody will raise him. He has not raised himself. When you use his face, I want to raise. See, if you notice, when they told Christ, physician, heal thyself, did Christ corrected them? Do you know why Christ corrected them? Because that is how you should be reasoning. It is not, but the reason why, because in Christ's case, to die was his own purpose. You get it? And that is why it's only your purpose you should be stupid. Once something is not your purpose, don't ever be stupid in it. I hope you got that.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
It's well with us.
Amen.
We'll continue on Sunday.